Bro, Matt Riddle might call himself the original bro, but in my opinion, he doesn't have the ability to include the word bro 20 times in the one sentence. Like the original bro, the real bro, Vince Russo can, and now he is the latest former WWE employee to come out and have his say on the whole Vince McMahon situation. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. And this week, the whole wrestling world has been talking about these McMahon allegations. And you know what? Rightfully so, because wrestling is kind of in a dead state right now. I know recently it got bought over by TKO. We're in the Royal Rumble season, WrestleMania. But wrestling just isn't that popular anymore. It's not that controversial. It's not that groundbreaking. And it's got its own little fan base, but it's not pop culture. It's not this huge deal anymore. But the McMahon thing certainly has been a huge deal. It's been making mainstream news. Literally everywhere is talking about this. We've had former wrestlers come out and give their opinions, such as Ryback and Lance Storm, but now a former WWE writer, the original bro, Vince Russo, has reacted to the news that Vince McMahon has been accused of sex trafficking, and this is what Vince Russo had to say on the matter. Quote, "I truly hope those Vince McMahon allegations are untrue. I really do. I just read those text messages. Bro, no way. Can't imagine him leaving that kind of trail behind. I don't know, man. No, bro. None of these wrestling journalists are going to dive into this Vince McMahon news because they might put their Royal Rumble press credentials at risk. Fact. Man, reading up on this Vince McMahon story, it just brings me back to when Triple H gave his reason years ago on why Chyna wasn't in the WWE Hall of Fame. Remember that? Always, always, always watch your words. If you're not careful, they will always come back to bite you in the arse." End of quotes. That's what Vince Russo had to say on the matter, and at least he didn't quite go in like Ryback and Lance Storm. He does seem a little bit more sincere with the allegations towards Vince McMahon, because he came out and said that he hopes they are untrue and he can't imagine Vince leaving that sort of history behind. So, I mean, Vince Russo, we know that with WWE, he's not had the greatest relationship over the past 20 years. He could have come in and tried to paint McMahon in a really negative light, like the likes of Ryback did and Lance Storm did. But, I mean, Vince Russo, he seemed to be a bit more level-headed here, and he just hoped that these allegations are untrue. But he couldn't refuse. He couldn't not take a dig at Triple H, and he always brings up Triple H and Chyna, and I definitely feel like Vince Russo has got a bigger problem with Triple H than he does Vince McMahon. And he brought up the fact that the Vince McMahon story reminded him of Triple H when Triple H gave his reasons years ago on why Chyna wasn't in the Hall of Fame. And he's basically saying you have to watch your words, or else it will come back to bite you in the arse in WWE, and that you will be blacklisted and you will be, put in a negative light here. So maybe insinuating that people haven't said anything about McMahon because they're afraid of being blacklisted like Chyna was. And I got to call it bullshit on this. Look, rest in peace, Chyna. She was, for her time as a performer, the fact that she came into a man's world and, made a pretty good impact in that. She did do a good job, Intercontinental Champion, later transitioned into the women's division. I mean, Chyna had a great career, didn't last long, but she did a lot in the professional wrestling business, no doubt about that. Was she done dirty with the whole Triple H and Stephanie McMahon relationship and basically being cheated on? I would say so. Yes, I think it's not nice. It's never nice being in that situation where you're in a relationship and someone cheats on you. It sucks for her, and it wasn't nice, but it's not, at the end of the day, it's not criminal. Triple H gave up his relationship and he wanted to get with Stephanie. At the end of the day, it sucks for Chyna, but Triple H is entitled to do that. Now, did they maybe try and push Chyna out the door? I think they would have. Of course, it would have been awkward. They didn't want Chyna in the company. I think when Triple H got with Stephanie, she definitely got pushed down the card, and eventually she did leave the company. But let's not pretend that they just completely blacklisted Chyna for no reason. Vince Russo likes to paint Chyna in this very innocent light, and he doesn't seem to acknowledge any of her mistakes. But Chyna did make a lot of mistakes, of course. She got involved with the porn industry, which was a big no-no for WWE. She had her like whole one night in China thing. They didn't want to be associated with that. She became a big time drug addict again, something WWE didn't want to be associated with. And we cannot forget that she accused X-Pac, I believe not just once, multiple times, she accused X-Pac, aka Sean Waltman, of rape when he did not do it. So she lied about this. And you want to talk about false allegations. That was a false allegation from Chyna. Just like this Janelle Grant could possibly be making a false allegation against McMahon. So not everybody is guilty. Just because you have an allegation against you doesn't necessarily deem you guilty. It doesn't mean you're 100% proven to have done what they have said. It doesn't mean that. And Chyna's someone that there's actual proof that she's lied in the past about X-Pac. So yeah, did WWE distance himself from Chyna? They did. But I think they've done it rightfully so. And they've not just Chyna, they've done it with multiple people in the past. And there was a reason why she wasn't in the Hall of Fame for such a long time. Just like Benoit is not in the Hall of Fame. And because, look, he done, he murdered his family, and WWE aren't going to put someone like that in the Hall of Fame. And Chyna did a lot of questionable shit back in the day, from heavy drugs to the porn industry, accusing Sean Waltman of rape. Shit like that wasn't going to get her put in the Hall of Fame. So I don't know how Vince Russo can draw up these conclusions and try and put both of these situations and stories into the same bracket when it's nothing alike, But for some reason, Vince Russo always seems to make everything about Triple H and everything about Chyna when it comes to negative light on WWE. I think he handled himself pretty well with the McMahon stuff, and that he didn't just put the boot in. He didn't call McMahon like this monster. He wants to give McMahon the benefit of the doubt. He hopes the allegations are untrue. But then he just brings up the Chyna situation, and it's like, let it go, it's done. Rest in peace, Chyna. She's in the Hall of Fame now. I don't know why they keep needing to go back to the bad times. Yes, him and Chyna were friends, and I mean, that's great. But he needs to accept that it wasn't just solely WWE's fault, and that Chyna had a lot of demons, and if she didn't have them, then she probably would have still been in WWE. She could have came back, and she would have had that Hall of Fame spot way before she actually got it. So yeah. Anyway, guys, that is it. Let me know your thoughts on Vince Russo here. Like I said, lots of former wrestlers, having their thoughts, and Vince Russo is just another one to do so. We'll catch you next time. Been Fog Wrestling. Thanks for watching, and peace.